weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Weird Science Comics YouTube channel. I am Jim, and I have some breaking news. Predator versus Wolverine. What won't this Predator go against? He can't keep his hands to himself. He has to learn that hands are for helping, not for hurting. He's gone after aliens, Danny Glover, even Batman. Now he's going against the Wolverine. And before we get into this, I do want to let everybody know that while I love the first Predator movie, that was more for Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jesse Ventura. I'm not a huge Predator fan, unlike Sus reviewer Gabe, who gave Predator #1 a 9 out of 10. I did see Predator 2. I thought it was clever that they were taking it to the concrete jungle. But other than that, I haven't seen many of the other Predator movies, and I actually mean I haven't seen any of them. So I'm not steeped in the lore or the mythology of the Predator. So if I mispronounce things like Predator, please forgive me. As we go on from the official press release from Marvel Comics, the Predator enters the Marvel Universe as Benjamin Percy pits two of pop culture's deadliest hunters against each other in Predator vs. Wolverine this September. It's the bloodthirsty saga fans have been waiting for. I'm not so sure about that. You can let me know in the comments below if that is the case, but nobody's actually come up to me and said, hey, Jim, what about Predator versus Wolverine? Now, there's always those, hey, what about Austin Powers versus The Mask, right? Everybody talks about that. You always have those versus things, but nobody's really come up to me and said, man, I really think this or who would win. But it is pretty cool. And I will say that this announcement, the way I found out about it was through my man Brandon, who did start the Marvel Comics podcast with me. And when he saw this news release, he ended up getting excited and says, this is crazy enough for him to get back in. And me and him will be reviewing it, at least on the podcast, but maybe here on YouTube as well. This September, the Predator will be unleashed on the Marvel Universe for the very first time as he viciously hunts Wolverine across decades of Marvel comic history in Predator vs. Wolverine. The 4-issue limited series will be written by Benjamin Percy, the acclaimed writer known for taking Wolverine's ferocious spirits and hot claws, I think, to its limits in the character's current ongoing solo series. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Benjamin Percy. I know that people do like his Ghost Rider a lot. I ended up getting bored with his Wolverine, dropped that with all the X books anyway, but I'm still reading the whole Ghost Rider. May not love it as much as some people, but he has talked in the past that he's a big horror fan. And so this works out because he's also writing Wolverine. So I think it'll work out pretty well. Percy will be joined by a host of all-star artistic talent, including Greg Land, so people lose their mind there, Andrea DeVito, Ken Lashley, Kei Zama, and many more. And it's a 4-issue limited series. How many artists do you need? I guess many more. The series will reveal a bitter rivalry between Wolverine and a Yacha. Yacha? See, this is where my lack of the mythology and the lore ends up messing with my mind, because I swear that Yacha, I just think of Yahtzee and I'm yelling it out, right? Who's been stalking him since his earliest days. Witness these never-before-told encounters as Percy brings the bloodiest hunters in all of pop culture to their knees. The thrill is the kill, that's an awful tagline. I know that, you'd have that up on the poster and things like that. I like, he's in the concrete jungle with a few days to kill. That's classic. The thrill is the kill. I don't know. Where is the kill the thrill? It almost makes me think of the idea, business or pleasure? Well, pleasure is my business, right? As you're going into Mexico. Wolverine has lived one of the longest and most storied lives in comics history. Now witness the untold greatest battles of Logan's life against a predator. One Yacha seeks the greatest prey in existence and finds it in Weapon X. From the blood-ridden snows of the Canadian wilderness to the sword-slinging streets of Susmarjapur, Wolverine and the Predator break everything in their paths, including hearts, on their way to the ultimate victory or glorious death. The hearts there was just added with me, but I like that. And I'm telling you right now, does anybody else think that if you're in Marjapur and you slip and fall and scrape your knee, or you have at least hepatitis, like, you better get to the doctor right away. Get some sort of penicillin shot if that happens. That's just a warning if you're ever in Marjapur. On why he's the perfect writer to craft this groundbreaking story, Percy said, "I'm not going to say I was born to write the crossover, but sometimes the universe reveals why you were created." You got to get loftier goals, Ben. I mean, the idea that you're excited to write a 4-issue miniseries, that's good. But to say this was why you were put on planet Earth, to write a 4-issue miniseries, Predator and Wolverine, I don't know. And here's the thing. Things are going to get even loftier as we go. I am a child of the 80s. I cannot tell you how many times I watched Predator. Just as I cannot tell you how many Wolverine comics I've read, because that would be like telling you how many breaths I've taken. All of a sudden, the guy becomes Sting out of nowhere. Or cheeseburgers I've eaten. Now he's me. And here's the thing, Ben. Be Sting. Don't be Jim. Hashtag be Sting, not Jim. The mythologies are both ingrained in me so deeply, they might as well be strands of DNA or wisps of soul. Seriously? I mean, this guy is going for it, right? And I would love to say that he at one point, Ancestry.com, he gets a little swab there, he sends it off, and it came back 10% Wolverine, 20% Predator, and 70% Irish. And then he sat there, he's like, which one's the most? Oh, the Irish is the worst part of all of that. The guns, claws, beef, and blood. And now he's just trying to make me hungry. Of both franchises have been stewing in my brain since 1987, when I read myself to sleep every night with a stack of Marvel comics, and my friends and I used to play Predator with Nerf guns in the woods and the river near our neighborhood. Okay, well, there you go. And I think that that's kind of a cool deal. He's trying to get a street cred, right? The thing is, you can count on old Jimmy Boy here to go deep dive into this. And if I take this at face value, what he's saying is around 1987, he's reading the Marvel comics, and he's playing Predator in the woods with Nerf guns, even though Nerf guns didn't come out until 1989. See, that is the deep dive investigative reporting that you will get here at Weird Science. Or maybe Ben Percy's revealing a little too much info. Maybe his alien overlords are going to be mad at him now for revealing that he is indeed a time traveler. The epic hunt will span decades as both of these giants learn and harden and grow deadlier with time, Percy continued. Neither will have time to bleed, but you better make time to read. He's a rapper now. And if we're going to go like 87, if we're going to take that whole deal, I would say he would do this in the vein of, say, Run DMC, possibly the Fat Boys, or even the Beastie Boys back in the day. But I really need Ben Percy to rap now. And if he does, I will do the beatbox for him. There's beatbox from old Jimmy. Because I'm putting everything I've got into this event. Well, he better. His DNA and wisps of soul are here. And again, going back to that, this is why I would never do interviews. I know a lot of people love seeing interviews on YouTube or podcast or whatnot. But if I ended up interviewing Ben Percy and I said, oh, so what's going on? Why do you want to do this Wolverine versus Predator? And he said, it's in my DNA or wisps of soul. I would laugh right in his face, and then he'd beat the crap out of me. And I don't want to get beat up. That looks like a big dude. And I'm thrilled to join forces with some of the best artists in the business, he says. Oh, my goodness. But there you go. I think it'll be pretty cool. This will be pretty fun. I think it's going to get some people excited about it. It got Brandon all fired up to get back into Marvel. Sometimes you need these little weird pushes to get people back to reading comics. And then, hey, you get them in the comic store or whatnot. They start, oh, that's out and go. So it's always a good thing. I think that this will be pretty big. I don't think it'll be as big as, say, a Batman Spawn deal. But still, I think this is a really cool idea. And I would love to hear what everybody thinks in the comments. But also let me know who else you want the Predator to go against in the Marvel Universe, whether it's a legit thing or you're just like, well, I hate this character, so get the Predator over there, or even what other 20th century things that you can end up having movie stuff intersect with the Marvel Universe. It's kind of a cool deal, kind of a side thing. So I'm into it. I'm going to check it out. And plus, I mean, Ben Percy, he's really going for it. So we'll see how it is, though. might be a time traveler. But let me know what you think. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, enable notifications, and please, please let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. And that is it. I am off to maybe perfect a little more of my beatboxing. It's been a while. See, I'm not very good. I'll get better, though. We'll have to track my progression of beatboxing, but that's it. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.